Hey guys, obviously we have the Super Bowl coming up tomorrow, the biggest day in American sports, right? Very exciting matchup. You got a young quarterback in Joe Burrow taking on that veteran defense in Los Angeles with the Rams. Bengals versus Rams. Bengals versus Rams. Who do I have? I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to go against conventional wisdom and take the Bengals in this Super Bowl, just solely based on momentum. You know, like how many times have the Bengals been counted out in this year's postseason? You know, like some people even thought the Raiders would knock them out in the first round of the playoffs this year, and the Bengals pulled through that one. Second round, they play against the number one seed in the AFC against the Titans, and everyone counted them out of that one. You know, oh, King Henry's coming back. Derrick Henry's going to be on the field. Did nothing. Derrick Henry was, for the most part, shut down by that Bengals D. That front seven did a really good job of keeping that run game of the Titans contained and forcing turnovers and putting the ball in Ryan Tannehill's hands, which is what you have to do as a defense against the Titans. So Bengals defense has been that unsung hero this year of the postseason. They're constantly there making a play when you need to have it happen, and Joe Burrow's there to capitalize on it. So I guess that Titans D, they did a pretty good job, obviously winning mostly on field goals, 19-16 against the Titans in that second round matchup, but they got it done, and that's what matters. On the road in Tennessee, they got it done. Next round, they win against the Chiefs. You know, everyone counts them out of that. You know, at Kansas City, I counted them out. I honestly thought Kansas City was probably going to pull it out. I was rooting for the Bengals, but most conventional wisdom says, hey, it's going to be Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes going to be a little too much for Joe Burrow to keep up with. And that first half, you really saw it, you know. They put up 21 points on him, or went up 21 points on him very fast, you know. Within a quarter and a half, it was 21-3. So, conventional wisdom says that was going to happen, right? Bengals defense isn't elite by any means as far as on paper goes. But they got the job done because second half, they shut the Chiefs down, held them to 3 points. Obviously, that 3 points being just to take them into overtime, right? And the Bengals, after that, even into overtime, shut them down again. And then Joe Burrow gets the ball back, and the rest is history. Evan McPherson kicks that field goal, and now we're here in the Super Bowl with the Bengals for the first time in a very long time since the 49ers beat them back in the day when they had Ickey Woods doing the Ickey Shuffle. Boomer Esiason out there playing quarterback. So, a good matchup. The Rams have been through a lot too, right? I mean, how many times have they been, it's just the same old Rams season, you know, all the talent in the world, trading all their picks for guys and not going to actually be able to put it together this year, right? But they did. They made it here finally again. So, I mean, obviously last time they played against the GOAT, Tom Brady, and Tom Brady in that defense for the most part got the job done for New England that year. Tom Brady obviously made a couple of plays here and there to make sure they got points on the board. But that defense for New England that year was seriously one of the best defenses we've seen in a Super Bowl for sure. Not a very entertaining Super Bowl that year, though, I will say that. But this year the Rams are a lot different than that year. They actually have an explosive passing game, not solely based off of the play action pass. Like they have Cooper Kupp, they have Odell Beckham Jr., they got Big Whit, Andrew Whitworth out there playing some really good football out there at left tackle. They got a bunch of young studs out there. Obviously Tyler Higbee's not going to be playing the tight end for the Rams, so someone's got to step up for him. And I think it's number 87, I want to say. I don't remember. I think his last name's McDonald. I could be completely messing that up, but he played pretty well last week when Higbee went down. So is it going to be that next man up across the board for them? And CJ Uzoma for the Bengals is going to be playing the tight end for the Bengals. So that Rams D is really going to the Rams defensive front seven versus the Bengals front seven is going to be the story of the game. Like, how many times is Joe Burrow going to get hit, sacked on the ground, and get back up and still just sling the rock to Jamar Chase, to T. Higgins, to C.J. Uzomah, to Tyler Boyd, and to Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, and the list goes on and on. How many times is he going to get up off that ground and throw it and perfectly on the money before we realize, okay, yeah, the Bengals are serious. Joe Burrow's a tough he's a tough mother effer. So we'll see about that front seven versus the Bengals. I think the Bengals will be able to hold up enough to get the job done, though. So front seven versus front seven, obviously the Rams should have the advantage on paper. Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller. They got a bunch of stars out there. My biggest thing is that center of the defense. That linebacking core is kind of lacking as far as, well, name. Obviously, the names aren't going to be too familiar to most people, but production as well for me. That front four for the Rams protects those linebackers from being exposed, especially on the run game. So you're not going to see a lot of run game probably out of the Bengals. It's going to be more of that screen pass, that quick slant over the middle type of pass game for the Bengals tomorrow. I see a lot of screens that should be open there, a lot of crossing routes that should be open. Some C.J. Uzomah matchups should be pretty good for him. Should be a good game for Uzomah. I look out for Uzomah and Tyler Boyd this game, being the X factors for the Bengals on offense, to be super important for them to actually pull this victory out. Because I don't think Jamar Chase is going to be Jamar Chase in this game, and he has Jalen Ramsey covering him and following him all over the field. It's going to be kind of hard to put up 262 yards receiving, just as an example that he's had before. So expect C.J. Uzomah with those linebackers and those safeties start to take advantage a little bit of that middle of the field. Tyler Boyd obviously being a nice possession receiver as well, and he can also hit the deep ball. So keep an eye out for those two guys for the Bengals offense. Matt Stafford, he's never been in a Super Bowl, and he knows how important it is for him and the Rams to finally get a Super Bowl. Sean McVay knows how important it is, the head coach of the Rams. I think it's not their year. It's just something about this Bengals team is different, and it's different than most teams you see that get to the Super Bowl. Like a lot of people say the Rams are just going to be blowing them out. Like there's no chance the Bengals have. But there's something different once again. So Joe Shiesty, whatever they're calling him, Joe Cool Jr. is what I like to call him. But Joe Burrow he's a franchise quarterback personified, man. He's exactly what you want in a leader on the field, off the field, and obviously as a player, just absolutely talented as you know what, right? But Matt Stafford, I think, is going to end up being the downfall of the Rams, and I hope not for his sake. But there's always 2 or 3 passes for him in most games that are very, very turnover worthy, and I see the Bengals defense being very opportunistic this whole postseason, and I see them continuing that in the Super Bowl and making sure they actually catch that very important interception like Jaquiski Tartt for the 49ers didn't end up doing, which I'm sure he's beating himself up about still, even weeks later. But I think that's going to be the downfall. Obviously, they have talent everywhere. OBJ, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, who are also going to be out of this game, which is unfortunate for him because of the torn ACL and everything he suffered earlier in the season. Van Jefferson, another receiver from Florida. Very, very deep receiving core in Los Angeles. We'll see if Odell Beckham stays this offseason with the Rams, which he absolutely could. But, he could be commanding serious top of the market deal in the NFL next year. So maybe not top 5, but definitely top half of the league. So keep an eye out for that. But the Rams everywhere. Aaron Donald's going to tear that Bengals O-line up. Yeah, you know that. No matter who he's going to be on, he's going to tear him up. Von Miller, probably the same. Leonard Floyd, I think that's more of a discussion that I'm willing to have with somebody. Leonard Floyd, he's came along very well over the past 3-4 seasons. He's not quite that Von Miller guy. So Jonah Williams versus that Leonard Floyd matchup, I like that a little more even for the Bengals, because Jonah Williams is a very good left tackle, despite what people think. Definitely top half of the league left tackle, in my opinion. There's a lot of guys that you would prefer not to have over him, that's for sure. So obviously the strength of their offensive line is that left tackle spot with Jonah Williams, but most of the other guys on that offensive line really need to kind of work on their game in this offseason if they want to continue seeing the field moving forward in the NFL. But once again, I'm going to state I'm taking the Bengals against conventional wisdom. I know everywhere says everything logically points to, hey, the Rams own this spot, they own this spot, they own this spot. Go with Los Angeles. It just feels different. It feels like the Bengals' time, and which is weird because they were the worst team in the league 2 seasons ago when they got Joe Burrow, and last season they had a top 5 pick. But it just feels different, and the momentum is just in their favor. They beat the Chiefs, they beat the Titans, they beat the Raiders, and now I think they beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. So hopefully that will satisfy some of the breakdown questions that you guys have from me. If you guys have any specific questions about the Super Bowl matchup, get in that Facebook group and let me know what your questions are, and I'll definitely answer them to the best of my ability as far as a breakdown or any kind of analysis that I can give goes. So anyway, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends and family. Anyone that really is excited for this Super Bowl matchup and rooting for Joe Burrow, or tell me who you're rooting for. Are you rooting for Joe Burrow and the Bengals, or are you rooting for Matt Stafford and the Rams? Either way, I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think it's going to be a Super Bowl to remember. It's definitely not going to be a defensive battle. So I don't think I'm hedging any bets with that. So yeah, guys. Anyway, enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the rest of you guys this weekend. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks.